Good morning everyone. Welcome to the class once again. Today we are going to start a new chapter that is called as World Trade Organization. You know, we have already completed chapter number 21 that was related to import procedure. And today I'm also going to give you a few questions from different chapters as a practice question, so you can take it as test questions. I will give those questions. I will dictate all those questions in this video. So let us begin with this chapter number 22 that is related to World Trade Organization. I hope you all must have heard about this World Trade Organization. Trade, you understand? Trade means buying and selling of the commodities. There is internal trade also, means buying and selling of the commodities within the boundaries of the nation. And you have also heard about external trade, that is international trade, means buying and selling of the commodities across the boundaries. And we have also discussed in detail about the import and export procedures, that how import takes place and how export takes place, why imports and exports are necessary for the countries. All this we have already discussed. We have also discussed about all those documents which are used in import and export trade procedures. Very well, we know about all these documents. Now, today we are going to discuss in detail about World Trade Organization. Before moving towards this World Trade Organization, let us discuss about this GATT. This is General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. This is GATT. G-A-T-T. General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs. You know, when there was open economy and the buying and selling of goods, it was started across the boundaries. You know, before that there were so many restrictions, rules, regulations. Many restrictions were there imposed upon all these business sectors, and it was very difficult for them to carry on all these procedures. But slowly and steadily all these restrictions that all were lifted up. Many relaxations were provided, and the business concerns, those which were involved in export and import business, they were encouraged to increase, to enhance their business. And many more freshers also, they got encouraged and they also entered the import and export business. In the open economy, we saw this change. That is era of globalization where whole world is taken as the single unit. But you know, when the trade started, means buying and selling within the countries, so normally few problems arised between the countries. So to solve those problems and to just regulate those buying and selling of means import and export, or buying and selling within the means across the boundaries, some international body should be there to regulate and control. The need arised like that, and when the need arised, this General Agreement on Trade and Tariff that was established, and it came into force on 1st January 1948. For the first time on 1st January 1948, this GATT, that is General Agreement on Trade and Tariff, that came into force. You know, it was a multilateral treaty. Laid rules for conducting international trade. Means the main aim of this General Agreement on Trade and Tariff was to frame the rules and regulations and to check that is trade between the different nations. So for that, General Agreement on Trade and Tariffs that was established in the year 1948. It got success also but still most of the countries, they were not satisfied, and they wanted that another body, international body, should be established to regulate the, that is, buying and selling between the nations. So just because of that, this World Trade Organization was established. World Trade Organization is the successor of General Agreement on Trade and Tariff. So the need arose, and the World Trade Organization, it was established in the year 1995 on 1st January. So here the main aim of this international body, that is World Trade Organization, is to regulate and control the activities. What are the activities? That is the buying and selling across the boundaries. Means whatever the agreements related to trade that is taking place between the two nations, to regulate and control that. And if any problem that is arising, to resolve those problems. So here World Trade Organization was established for that. You know how many member countries are there till July 2016? There are 164 member countries, and India is one of the founder member of this World Trade Organization. This is, you know, an international organization, and you know, conferences that is conducted, the ministerial conference is conducted in every 3 years. After every 3 years, that is international conference, ministerial conference is conducted between these member countries, and whatever decisions that is to be taken, that is taken in those, that is in that meeting. And normal decisions, disputes and all that is to be undertaken, it is taken by the delegates and the ambassadors, those who meet at its headquarters, which is in Geneva. The headquarters of World Trade Organization is in Geneva. So these ambassadors and delegates, they meet regularly at that is headquarters, and they try to resolve all these things, the disputes or any problem which arise related to trade, that is international trade. So this is all about World Trade Organization. There are a few more things that is to be dealt about this World Trade Organization, like international organization. It is an international organization to regulate trade, means to control and regulate trade between the member countries. It frames the global rules, the rules at the global level for trade, for conducting trade between the nations. The global rules and regulations that is made related to trade. Then the main function of this World Trade Organization is to see that the trade, that is the buying and selling between the nations, that should go smoothly and predictably and freely as possible. Means to satisfy all the countries, the importing countries as well as the exporting countries. You have seen that so many documents are there, so many formalities are there. It's not very easy. So maybe the problems may arise related to documents, related to payments and many other things. The situation, these types of disputes, quarrels can arise between the countries, that is the importing countries as well as the exporting countries. So the World Trade Organization is there to frame global rules and regulations so that smoothly and effectively, efficiently the trade can be, international trade can be carried on. And you know, every country has to get dependent on import and export. Any country cannot say that they are self-sufficient, they don't have to import from any other country, because the climatic condition doesn't suit. There will be some products that will be demanded by the people of the country, and the government will be forced to purchase those commodities from other nations to satisfy the needs of the consumers of the country. So that is why all these to carry on smoothly, and efficiently the trade, these organizations are established so that the freely and smoothly trade can be carried on. Now, there are certain objectives of this World Trade Organization. Let me tell you one thing before moving towards the objectives. I did not discuss about that what is there in the syllabus. Whatever in this World Trade Organization, there is no change. Last year, whatever there was in the syllabus, the same syllabus is this year also related to this chapter. Last year also it was only the meaning and objectives of World Trade Organization, and in this year also meaning and only objectives are there in the World Trade Organization chapter, that is chapter number 22. There are several other things are also given in the book that you don't have to do. If you have the book, you can please see, if you have the book, you can see page number 464 in this book. Meaning of World Trade Organization and objectives of World Trade Organization, that is on page number 464. Only these things are there in the syllabus. Rest, the functions, the benefits of World Trade Organizations and disadvantages of World Trade Organization to India, achievements, failures and all that, please put across. All these things are not there in the syllabus. Only meaning and objectives of World Trade Organization that is there in the syllabus. So I hope you all have marked in the book. So this is about the syllabus. Last year also it was the same, meaning and objective. This year also it is the same, there is no change. Very little bit it was already there in the syllabus last year also. So this year also there is no change. Only this meaning and objectives are there in the, that is, two topics are there in the syllabus. Now let us proceed further with the objectives of World Trade Organization. Now the objectives of World Trade Organization, in this, the very first objective is to set and enforce rules for international trade. Yes, the main objective of World Trade Organization is to frame the rules and regulations, that is the global rules and regulation, international rules and regulations related to trade, so that the importers and exporters from different countries of the world, they can freely and efficiently import and export following the rules and regulations. Then the second is to resolve trade disputes. As I have told you that there are so many formalities already you have studied, so many documents are there, so many procedures are there. So maybe sometimes related to the documents, sometimes related to the payment, some problems can arise. Sometimes at the time of, that is, taking the delivery of the goods, so many problems arise. So to settle all those disputes, the World Trade Organization is there to settle. And as I have told you, that the ambassadors and delegates, those who meet regularly at the headquarters in Geneva, they are there to solve all these current problems. Then third one, to raise the standard of living. I have already told that no country is self-sufficient and every country has to get dependent on import and export. So here, this World Trade Organization helps in smooth flow of goods from one country to another, which helps in meeting the demand of the products in different countries of the world, thereby increasing the standard of living of the people in that area. Because this World Trade Organization, it also helps and enhances and encourages the countries, the business concerns in different countries to come up and perform and engage in import and export business, which will help in the development of industries, more and more industries. Because more and more export and import business means more and more production of those types of commodities that is to be imported and exported. So this is going to increase the industrialization, means more and more employment, and definitely that is going to raise the standard of living of the people. Then to ensure full employment, as I have told you just now, that more and more export and import business, because these the World Trade Organization provides the free atmosphere so that the people can engage in these types of business sectors. So many relaxations are being provided. So that will just increase the import and export business, that will help in more and more industrialization, more and more production of the products, and that will help in increasing the employment opportunities, because more employment, more industrialization means more people should be required to produce the products, they will be engaged in the production department. So that is going to provide employment to a large number of people worldwide, and it is just because of World Trade Organization. So we can ensure full employment. Then to expand production, of course, when more and more import and export will increase, so production, of course, that will increase. Then to expand trade, as I have told you, that World Trade Organization, it provides a free atmosphere to carry on trade between the nations. They have set rules and regulations, and they provide absolutely free atmosphere for conducting the trade, and this helps in expanding trade. This encourages the business sectors to come up with more import and export business. Then the seventh point is to make optimum use of world resources. When more and more production will increase, of course, the resources that were kept idle in different countries of the world, they will also be utilized. So there will be optimum and balanced utilization of resources so that the production can be increased and it can be exported to different other countries of the world. So that is going to help this World Trade Organization. The most important objective is to make the optimum utilization of resources. Then the last is to achieve the sustainable development. You know what is sustainable development? Because the main aim is to, development is necessary, but it's not at the cost of the environment, not at the cost of the natural resources. Means development, economic development, keeping in mind that the resources are protected, the environment is protected. Means without the depletion of natural resources, we are thinking of the economic development. So the World Trade Organization, the most important objective is to achieve sustainable development. It's not that in the mode of increasing more and more export, the countries, they should try to exploit all the resources and they should try to destroy all the natural resources. No. They have to think more and more industrialization, more and more pollution will be there. So they have to, the countries, they have to follow the rules and regulations which are framed in their own country related to protecting the environment. They have to follow all those rules and regulations, keeping in mind, and they have to protect the environment and the natural resources, because they have to survive in this environment only, and that is very, very essential. So, to achieve sustainable development, that is the most important objective of the World Trade Organization, means to achieve the economic development without depletion of the natural resources and protecting the environment. So, I hope all these points are absolutely clear to you. This was a very small chapter in which only 2 topics were given, that is the meaning and objectives of World Trade Organization, and we have discussed in this lecture. So now we will finish this chapter. Okay, 2 topics were there and we have finished these 2 topics. Now this chapter is over. Now from the next session we are going to start another unit, you can say, that is related to insurance. So 2 chapters are now left and those 2 chapters are related to insurance. I hope you all must have heard about the word insurance. So in detail we are going to discuss about this insurance, what is the meaning of insurance, what are the types of insurance and all that, principles of insurance. So all these things we are going to discuss in the next lecture. Now I am going to give you few questions that you have to do it. Please note it down, all these questions which I am giving you, and all these questions you will have to do it in your fair copy. Now you will have to search, these are from different chapters, you please search it that from which chapter it is and then please do it, because this is a type of test question. The very first question is, what is the difference between internal trade and external trade? You write it on the board. The very first question is, what is the difference between internal trade and external trade? Then question number 2, it is too much dependence on imports may undermine the economy of the country. Economy of a country. You will have to explain this. We will have to explain this sentence which is given in the inverted commas. Question number 3. Explain the main objectives of export trade. Explain the main objectives of export trade. Then question number 4. Explain the following terms. Explain the following terms, and in that number A is letter of credit. Number B is shipping order. Number C is bill of lading. Bill of lading. And D is consular invoice. Then question number 5. What is the purpose of import trade? What is the purpose of import trade? And one more question is there. Question number 6. Explain the following documents Number 1, bill of entry, bill of site, then C is port trust dues receipt, import license. These are the questions that you have to do in the fair copy. The very first question is, what is the difference between internal trade and external trade? Then, too much dependence on imports may undermine the economy of a country. Explain. Then third question is, explain the main objectives of export trade. Fourth question is, explain the following terms, that is letter of credit. This is letter of credit. B is shipping order, C is bill of lading, and D is consular invoice. Then fifth one is, what is the purpose of import trade? And the sixth one is given as, explain the following documents used in import trade. That is bill of entry, bill of site, port trust dues receipt, and import license. So I hope these questions are absolutely clear too. So these questions, you please see that these questions are from which chapter. These are the test questions. You please do it in your fair exercise book as you attempt these questions in the examination. So I think it is clear to everybody. Please see, all these questions are there on the. So in the next session, we are going to discuss related to a new chapter that will be called as, that is, insurance. Thank you very much.